Hello, my name is Meerah and I'm a Lorekeeper in one of Yogg-Sothoth's libraries, and today I wanted to talk about one of the many fascinating locations in the Lovecraft mythos. Our topic of discussion in this video is the Dreamlands Underworld, also called the Abyss. The Abyss, or the Underworld, is exactly what it sounds like. It's a subterranean land that exists beneath the Dreamlands. There are many different locations where one can enter the Abyss from the overworld of the Dreamlands. One is the stairway from the Lingite city of Sarkomon in the north, which descends down onto the plane of the Ghouls. Another is in the south of the Dreamlands, in the fantastic realm of Zura, the land of the dead, which descends down into the ruins of Karoth in the Underworld. Yet another is in the west, in the Enchanted Woods, beneath the Enchanted Stone. There are also other entrances, but these ones are probably the most well-known. Like, there's one in Coth and the mountains of Thro. Since this is basically a tour of the Abyss, let's imagine that we have descended the stairs at Sarkomon and emerged on the plane of Ghouls. So this is where we will start our little expedition. The Plane of Ghouls is located in the northern part of the Abyss and is home to ghouls, as the name would suggest, or at least those that do reside in the Dreamlands. Ghouls are human-like in appearance and resemble what modern media would call a zombie, I suppose. But unlike zombies, they're incredibly intelligent and retain sentience and control of their faculties. In fact, it is said that sometimes a ghoul will kidnap a human baby to raise it as their own, or sometimes humans will just wander off and join the ghouls to become one of them. The general consensus is that all ghouls were once human at one point, but they're essentially like immortal. They live a really long time. We don't even know what their lifespan actually is. So a lot of them just don't remember their time as a human. Not all ghouls are hostile either, with some in the dream quest of unknown kadath even befriending and aiding Randolph Carter. Ghouls could move freely between the Dreamlands and the waking world. Another place connected with the overworld plateau of Ling is the Vaults of Zen, which is a system of caverns rumored to be connected to the monastery on the plateau by a well. The Vaults of Zen are home to the Ghasts, which are another humanoid species like the ghouls. However, these are less like zombies and more like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. It's unknown how intelligent they are, if at all, and they're noted for being unable to survive the light of the sun, hence their underground home. The Vaults of Zen can be entered through the mouth of a huge cave in the side of a cliff, which towers over the nearby cemetery of the Goog city of Koth. The Googs avoid this cemetery for the most part because it's inhabited by ghouls, and they certainly never venture as far as into the vaults. The city of Koth is described as a huge city, befitting of its inhabitants, the Googs, who are themselves huge. Googs are giants, the average growing to about 16 feet in height and nearly a ton in weight, so 2,000 pounds on average, maybe more, we don't know. Their city has towering cyclopean buildings, with the Tower of Koth being the most significant. The Tower of Koth houses the stairway to the Dreamland's surface. At the base of this tower is the Sign of Koth, which is a sigil that represents the covenant between the Great Ones and the Googs, and also prevents them from entering the waking world. The Googs were banished to the underworld by the gods for unspeakable atrocities that are not named. Yet another place in the Abyss that is connected to the Plateau of Ling is the region of Luz, which exists as a cavern in the Grey Barrier Peaks, which is the mountain range that separates Ling from the plains of Kar. Luz is home to many night gaunts, and below it is a place called the Downs of Dahaz. The Downs is a strange place, with very little being known about it other than that it is heavily guarded and is home to creatures known as the Halflings of Dahaz. Further down still, beneath the Downs, is the Great Dole Ossuary, a place similar to the Crag of the Ghouls. Its name kind of says it all. Beneath the ossuary is the Pit of Unknown Thing. The Pit of Unknown Things is the home of the outer god Abhoth, who lives both beneath the waking Mount Vormithadreth and in the Dreamland's Pit of the Unknown Things. Abhoth is described as a puddle or a pool of phosphorescent slime or goo that is constantly spawning its children, the Unknown Things. The children of Abhoth and the Doles or Bowls, they are called either interchangeably depending on the source, of the above ossuary are locked in an eternal battle and feast on one another regularly. One of the most recognizable sights in the underworld are the majestic snowless peaks of Thro, a mountain range rumored to be rooted in the very core of the earth itself. The mountains are inhabited by night gaunts, and the ghouls call the peaks Azathoth's teeth. In the foothills of the peaks, a reclusive ghoul named Shugob lives and maintains an impressive library. At the base of the peaks of Thro lies the Vale of Pnath, where the plains of the Ghouls and the Vale of Verlap, the Ghouls have turned into a dumping ground for the bones of their feasts, and thus this place is really just a pit of bones, called the Crag of Ghouls. The bones discarded here are said to be enough to form a mountain, and is alternatively known as the Sea of Bones. The Sea of Bones is home to many bulls, which are the giant worms descended from the Doles of Yadith. The Vale houses a mysterious city in the eastern part of it called the City of Whisperers, and other than its name, naught is known of it. Also in the Vale is the Temple of Nodens, with its high priest Nuguthug and an elder sign which wards the temple's entrance. North of the Vale is the Fungus Forest, a hauntingly beautiful bioluminescent place where some of the fungi can grow to be as big as sequoia trees in the waking world. I wouldn't mind visiting there, honestly. Sounds kind of nice. It's inhabited by goblins and parasites. If you were to descend into the abyss from the land of Zura above, you would find yourself in the ruined city of Karoth, now only inhabited by Tak, a vampire prince. The ruins of the city have the appearance of mausoleums, and the city itself has been described as one huge graveyard carved right out of the cliffside. Karoth's cliffs border the Sea of Pitch, which is a body of water that isn't really water and more like tar, hence the name. It's practically impossible to cross, and the only known living creature that dwells here are called pitch spiders, though nothing is really known about them aside from their name, and that travelers should really beware of them. Along the Sea of Pitch also lies a flat stretch of land called the Plain of Boulders, and somewhere in the Dreamlands, I'm not really sure where exactly, there's a small body of water called the Sterile Lake. And that's what we know, or at least the basics of what we know about the abyss of the Dreamlands. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, thank you to my channel members. May y'all grant them the knowledge they seek, and I hope to see you next time here in the library.